The law of personal responsibility states that although we are interrelated, each individual is accountable for their own conduct. Our seventh principle states that we bring happiness into our lives by observing the laws of life, which are God's universal laws. Therefore, we are responsible for bringing happiness into our lives through our conduct. Many people think that happiness comes from material things, either gained or purchased or bargained for. And it is true that some things in life are necessary. A roof over our heads, food and water to eat and drink, and air to breathe. But material things are temporary solutions for happiness. Think about the happiness that you get from buying a new car or purchasing a new home. It can be fleeting, especially when the mortgage payments and the expensive car payments begins rolling in month after month. We are responsible for happiness that fulfills us and elevates our spirit. Happiness that sustains us and is not dependent on material things. We need to be spiritually aligned. We are responsible when we take our car and get a wheel alignment. We are responsible when we take our animal friends to the vet. We are responsible when we take ourselves to a medical doctor. Our first step towards becoming spiritually aligned and responsible is to know thyself. I looked on the internet and came up with both Socrates and Aristotle are credited for saying, to know thyself is the beginning of all wisdom. Connection to ourselves is important because this is where we experience alignment, oneness, and peace. That is within. And no matter if we have the largest house on the block or the most expensive car to drive, if we lack harmony and peace within, these material things will not bring us happiness. Spiritually aligning elevates us, and this can be achieved in many ways, such as reading books on spirituality or listening to spiritually inclined podcasts. Another way to bring happiness into our lives is through our conduct with our prayers. Praying helps us to attune to God. And no special technique or method is required. And as co-creators with great potential, strength, and ability, our prayers help us tap and develop our God-given gifts. With prayers, we can attune to a higher vibrational frequency. Prayers are powerful, and like prophetic dreams and out-of-body experiences, as well as spirit communication, the power of prayer can be hidden in plain sight. We often don't realize the magnitude of our prayers when we pray for ourselves, when we pray for others. Praying can bring a sense of a spiritual or loving alignment with God. It can also give us a sense of immersion into a universal consciousness. It is a way to tap into the divine within. It is also a connecting link with infinite intelligence. Now, prayer is not petitioning God, nor is it trying to persuade God, nor is it begging God to hear us or to answer us. God is within us. God is there. There's no need for that. And most people, when they get down to their hit rock bottom, or when life is just spiraling out of control, this is where the begging comes in. Even in dire situations, there's no need to beg. Prayer is communion with God. And I want you to know that communion with God never leaves us where it found us. That's because praying lifts us and imparts to us what is needed at that moment, whether that is peace, wisdom, happiness, or contentment. As spiritualists, we know that we are spirit now, and we pray to the divine spirit of life within. According to Thomas Grimshaw, who was instrumental in developing the education of spiritualism at Morris Pratt Institute, he says, prayers permits a gradual unfolding of our inner self, and it helps us to hold a vision of all the virtuous of the good in life, the beautiful, the ennobling, the true, and the useful. Just the other day, I had contractors over at my building, and I'm dealing with prior damages that was not disclosed when I purchased the building. The one contractor said, "People are no good." And then he asked, "What is the world coming to?" My answer was simple. I try to see only the good, and I pray for all the rest. Praying is expressing our highest loyalty to the best that we know. We're here to learn lessons, sometimes hard lessons, but when the experience becomes too much and becomes overwhelming, we have prayers. And the good thing is that we don't need a formula to go within. Our prayers can bring about peace in our heart that soothes and comforts all ailments, physical and mental and spiritual. Praying can bring happiness to us that no material object ever could. Now, meditation. That's another action or conduct that brings happiness into our lives. It's another way for us to become spiritually aligned. Meditation has many benefits. It can be used as an energy source. It can be beneficial physically and mentally. And it can change attitudes. Sometimes, and most times, after meditating, we feel a renewed strength. When we meditate in the mornings, we have become centered and balanced, and we have increased energy for dealing with our day. But meditation also expands dormant energy that is within us. It elevates our spirit, which often leads to authentic spirituality. We become spiritually aligned. When we meditate, we become more aware of the sensation of relaxing. Tension flows from our bodies. Our mind can become clearer. We become more aware of deep feelings and emotions. We look within to find out what we are all about. We connect to ourselves to increase our happiness. And what better way to come to know ourselves than by going within to sit with ourselves? This awareness that we achieve through meditation helps to establish a relationship between our intellect and our inner reality, between our mind and our spirit. Meditation is also a part of our Sunday service because we realize the importance of meditation and the benefits gained from it. As I come to a close, know that our prayers and our meditation is a lifeline to the divine and all of nature. Prayers and meditation are slices of peace when troubles come our way. It is a connection to God's universal laws. Our prayers and our meditations can lift us when we're down, give answers to us when we seek, ease our troubled hearts and troubled minds when life becomes overwhelming. This is spiritually aligning to fulfill our personal responsibility through our conduct and how we as spiritualists align to help to bring about lasting happiness in our lives. Bless you.